Welcome back to 1876 Sports and Culture Podcast, a show focused on highlighting the illustrious Prairie View A&M University, the HBCU of Texas, by promoting SWAC and the HBCU experience, featuring your fellow PV Panthers, Roland Austin, Jay Cleezy, Big Mike Washington, three-time SWAC champ Gati Werema, former drum major HBCU band historian Shawnetta Haskell, and Al Williams, driving the show from the Hill. Please subscribe and follow us on social media at 1876 SCP. And don't forget, we do it for the culture.
Welcome to the 1876 Sports and Culture Podcast. I got joining me today, Shawnetta, Roland, Mike, back from assignment, and Jay Cleezy. Man, I got to tell you, bro, I hadn't had Brown since September, but
man, I done turned over everything in my house. Kicked over tables, chairs, almost kicked the kid earlier yesterday.
Al drinking that dreary weather liquor.
That is
man, come on, bro.
Last
we
week
talking about Valley.
We had to do. Mike, you in the Valley, them done devils. I told you,
man. I got so many DMs and messages. Mike, we talking about Valley. We talking about Valley. How about Valley? Oh, whatever. I turned that phone off.
I'm gonna tell you about Valley. Little Mississippi Valley done beat us 2 years in a row. We got lucky and made it to Jackson last year. This year, we still have to be dependent upon Grambling to get us to Jackson. And let's not remember, Little Valley also beat us in basketball last year at home to end our long home game winning streak. So when you talking about Valley, you best to put some respect on their name, man.
Man, we already got Southern talking about. We already got Southern talking about Prairie View as Baton Rouge West. I ain't trying to be Edabina West.
Yeah, exactly. I got a text. It was like when Prairie View lost and then Texas Southern lost, gave up 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. I got a text saying the skies are blue and gold. Thank you, Texas. I was like, oh, and it's bad when you can't say nothing back.
Nothing.
No, you really have nothing to say. There's really not much we can say at that point. Other than I just think, man, we just need to repent or something because it's just I don't know what has happened. Who have we forsaken?
We need to burn sage. Something.
I mean, first Southern put that hoodoo on us. Now the devil's coming up. Hey, man, I don't where the pastor's in. Call the elders of the school and tell them we need them to come on and just do something different because this is not working. This is just not working.
Well, the best pastor in the SWAC is at Jackson State. So,
well, that's not helping us. What can we do? Can he get in the portal? Jackson State, can y'all put y'all pastor in the portal?
And you know what? I may be in the minority, I think, or maybe the majority, but all of the people who are still coming up with the scenarios to get us to Jackson, I don't want to go to Jackson.
Stop. Yes, just stop.
I don't want to go to Jackson.
I don't even want to take this team to Jackson.
Listen, like I said before, all the strange things that are happening right now, what are the odds that we just might go there and be competitive?
No.
I mean, hey,
you mean like last year when we could have won that game if it was not for a horrific showing by the QB?
There you go.
But a world-class performance by the defense?
Or, some can say some play calling by a coach that was already out of there. But hey, I'm just going to leave it there.
Yeah, so I'm with you, Shawnetta. I'm with you. I don't really want to go either. I done already repurposed those points I used to buy my airfare.
I'm not giving it.
If we make it,
this is some crazy hoodoo mojo that's happening in the SWAC West right now. And this is the strangest things is happening. You might as well go play the lottery or something because this is ridiculous. You can't even put logic to this. It's the worst team in the SWAC.
Worst.
Yeah.
And we can't get over 7 points.
Hey,
come on, man. Yeah. You can't make this stuff up. There's somebody in
team,
Vegas right now mad.
You know what team did win? the men's basketball team.
Yeah.
So let's celebrate.
Let's stay on them right now.
Okay. It is okay. So is it officially basketball season?
Yes.
We officially switching gears to
For
basketball
me, it
season.
is. For me, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, it's basketball season.
We good.
Yeah, they
All right.
Coach
So
Smith,
let's talk some basketball.
That,
all I know, Coach Smith started off 3-0 with a huge win over Pac-12 Washington State.
Yeah,
So
he did.
all I know is Coach Smith is out here with the Fat Joe meme talking about yesterday's price is not today's price. We know his contract is up and he trying to get paid. Y'all better pass the hat. We better call the ushers forward, pull up the collection plate, because Coach Smith about to get paid.
Yeah.
I tell you what, some of y'all that went over some of y'all heads for them that went over some of their heads out there. They don't understand what's about to be on the books right now.
It didn't go over my head. I want to wait till March.
Okay. Might want to get out in front of this one, but hey, who am I?
No, I'm talking about me personally.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's
I don't think
amazing.
you want to wait till March.
Yeah. I'm just saying. No,
hey, Coach, let me get your signature right here, real quick.
Right, exactly.
Before Christmas.
Y'all already have them in the big dance.
Listen,
and we got the habit of giving people flowers a little too early on this show. So
you can say whatever you will. That man has proven himself. Okay, let's not play the game. Let's not play the game. Let's not do what we done did 3 times in a row already.
Okay,
but
already.
And you know how he followed it up? They followed it up with just a barely last-second loss to Tennessee Martin. So it's not like they gave everything they had and then flopped immediately after. They are still playing some great ball.
And see, I can support that. I can support the team that plays to the end. Whether you lose, it's okay. You played to the end. You didn't give up. I digress.
What you trying to say?
No, don't digress. Proliferate.
They just said, here, just ram another one down our throats. Huh? Just get another one. Huh?
It's one thing when you lose on a last second shot.
Hey, roll it.
But when you can't get over 3.
I know you're up by 2 touchdowns. Just go and get another one then. Why don't you? Just go score again. Why don't you?
Hey, when you can't get 3, not 3 third downs. I'm sorry, I backed up. When you can't get 3 third downs, you got 2 third down conversions the whole game. When you can't get 3, we're talking about 3.
We got a football segment later on. We can.
I know. I'm sorry.
Do we have to?
Yes, we do. Hey, but let's give kudos to the entire SWAC basketball.
They got it done.
Yes, they got it done. So
they made some statements last week.
Yeah, man. As part of the SWAC Pac-12, what is it called?
Legacy Series.
Not only did PV beat Washington State, Grambling beat Colorado 83-74, so it wasn't even really close. TSU beat Arizona State 67-66. And then in a separate game that's not part of the series, Southern beat Cal. I forgot what the score was, but they beat them. So that's 4 SWAC schools that beat 4 Pac-12 schools, all within the same week, a matter of days. That's crazy, man.
That's it. And that Southern score was 74-65. So it's convincing.
Yes.
I bet you they'll just write a check next time and say, y'all just go on and have a good time on us.
Yep. What was that?
It was some rankings got dropped.
Yeah.
Was that a home and home series? So that's
a home and home.
The second leg of that series next year is not gonna happen. They're gonna cut that check.
I'm sorry,
it's
a snow
jeopardy.
day.
They're gonna cut a check.
Said we're not even gonna play with y'all this week.
We don't have snow, but we're gonna have a snow day.
We're gonna have a snow day that day. Oh my gosh.
So
man.
I look forward to basketball season. We're gonna have to get it cranked up next week.
But on the real,
all right. So we know the school year. Go ahead, Mike.
I said just on the real though. This 2-3 years ago, we start off the year playing non-conference games. We normally start off 0-3, 0-4, 1-5. We may get a win. Now SWAC teams, they beating up on some folks. I'm just saying. This transfer portal equalizing.
Hey, and I hate to beat a dead horse, but we haven't even started recruiting them 2.5 dogs yet.
Yes.
We go with the 2.5ers, man. Come on, dog.
Wait till we get some 2.5 dogs.
Oh Lord.
God. I just don't know where we're supposed to go with that. How are we supposed to? I can't even spin that no more. I'm tired of trying to spin his comments.
I'm just saying. 7-footers ain't got 3.0.
Well, the young man, and we'll talk about him later. The young man that is helping us evidently had the grades, right? Because he is a graduate of Southern Methodist University.
Come on through with the stats, Janetta. Say, I got data points for you, buddy.
All right, so we know the school year is coming to, it's starting to wind down. After Thanksgiving, you look forward to finals, and we know that 21-day period for public comment on our new president is coming shortly. So what are some of the challenges you think that the new president has coming in? What are some of the things that she needs to prioritize? What do you guys think?
I always say clean house.
Yeah.
Man, I would. It's a lot of house cleaning, and it still needs to get done. And President Simmons has cleaned several rooms of the house.
Yeah, I would also say break down some of these silos, these walls that have been around in PV for years. You can't have an organization and in the year our Lord 2022, 23 with too many silos. Oh, they supposed to do that over there. No, we can't have that here.
Yeah, I think of one big deal that a new president needs to bring in is to have collaboration, inter-campus-wide collaboration with different departments. Because there's no way why one major department has no clue of what the other department is doing, and they're both working on same or similar projects. That's just asinine.
You wouldn't be talking about police department and athletics, would you?
I mean, that's just one example.
Hey, man, listen, I think at the end of the day, what we need is just leadership. We just need pure leadership. All that flows under leadership. Understanding your entire organization and how does the organization win? Not your department, the entire organization. When you have people like the communications department can't interact, like you guys just said, can't interact with athletics when they clearly have the resources and the products to help everybody win, that's a huge problem. And we got to start focusing in on pure leadership, pure accountability, holding folks accountable for what their jobs are. We have done a very bad job of just allowing whoever's in the role to just be happy that they're in the role. And that we are not in that. We're not in that phase anymore. If we've raised the profile of this university to this degree where we're getting multiple 7-figure and sometimes 8-figure donations, you cannot just let people go. The phone should not ring and no one answer it. Right. Those days are over. You do not get to send every phone call to voicemail. You do not get to not answer the emails that come through. You're having, I know you happy about the 2.5 things, but we're having 3.8, 4.0, 4.7 students. 4.3 students trying to get into PV and they can't even get a response back. Dude, accountability on every level and every department is what needs to be focused on. And that's just core leadership.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can drop the mic after that.
Yeah. Can we introduce just like lean thinking? I mean, it's like I want to take we work.
That's a whole nother issue. You're talking about academians, Shanetta, and they think they know every damn thing stuff already.
It's just my organizational expertise wants to. Can we just all just the key word is, like you said, collaboration, communicate, execute, right? Can we just read a book on lean thinking and
listen, I'm not even gonna put reading on you. Just somebody put up a PowerPoint and help the folks out, man. Obviously, you throw the book, they're not gonna read. Just come on, just somebody come in, and that's the other part. How many alums out there would be willing? Shanette, I've heard you say, listen, if that was the issue, they could have called me. I would have gladly donated my time, donated my skills, donated my resources to help the university out. You have alums that do this crap every single day for someone.
Every single day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Fail to call on them.
I would do it for Prairie View for a fee. Like I would work for PV if you let me work from Dallas.
You might as well look. Some folks say you working from Prairie View, so you might as well let you work for
my hotel, rental car fee, my gas, all that. I work for you.
Hey, from a sports perspective, I would love it if our new president actually saw the value in college athletics.
Exactly.
That would be nice. And I'm not talking about just going to the games, actually seeing value in supporting college athletics financially. That would be really nice.
I'm hoping she does. I'm hoping that she does.
That's a big hope.
I'm prayerful that she does.
I hope that's a good prayer too, because oftentimes the academians do not understand the value or see the value in college athletics.
Put no weight on Mike's prayers. You see what his prayers done got us so far. We went down the valley. Don't you pray no more. Don't you even call the Lord no more, because it's clearly going to the wrong line.
Exactly.
Right. But I just think at the end of the day, Joe, I mean, it's the vision, right? What's the vision? Be a visionary, and to me that goes with all things Prairie View, be it academics, be it athletics.
So
and if you don't have that, I was gonna say, if you don't have the expertise, make sure that you select an athletic director who is not just one-dimensional. Someone that can.
You mean like the one-dimensional president we just hired?
Mm-hmm. No, I don't know much about, and I'm not gonna be in that committee. I'm gonna give her a chance because I wasn't on the search committee, nor has the search committee informed anyone on why they made that decision.
And that's a problem.
Yeah, I think engagement, and you have this next president has to engage openly all departments and the alumni. Don't leave it up to a committee. Mm-hmm. Don't leave it up to I'm putting this person here. Engage, see what's going on in all committees. I know academics is important, but so is sports, so is engineering, but really so is sport. Engage with that community, see what's going on. I think that is something that this new president, that should be at the top of our priorities, really, because if you look at what students go to, if you ask them to make a list of top 5 things that attract them to a school, I guarantee you, sports is at the top somewhere. 2, 3,
by
4,
far.
5.
Oh, it's number 1, man. Nobody wants to go to a school with a losing football team or losing basketball team.
So why did we go to Prairie View?
Aha, there you go. Bingo.
I was about to say.
And for me, again, I think athletics is important, but as I listen to that statement, if that's a true statement, we wouldn't be talking Sunday after Sunday about low attendance.
But I wasn't talking about wins and losses. I was talking about culture. It's different. Culture means you support the program even in the down years. You may have a 5-5, whatever your records are. You still have a culture that supports that program and a student body that is behind that program. That's different than just having a successful football, basketball year in, year out. That's hard to maintain. But the culture means you're going to have a consistently competing program and the student body is behind you. That's different.
Yeah, but that culture is challenged on a couple of different fronts every single week, and every sport, right? And I remember when we started season 1, the first episode we were talking about PV needs to stop being the best kept secret, and you know what? We need to go back to being the best kept secret because we letting everything exposed, and people don't know how to keep stuff in the house. They don't know how to they want to tell everybody the business. Man, come on, stop. Let us go back to being our best kept secret. We have our issues, but nobody else know about them, and we just deal with them inside. Because I get tired of looking at every Facebook that PV gonna PV again. What you talking about? Why you know more about our stuff than we do? That is the most ignorance that I've ever witnessed, that folks feel like the only way we can get stuff done at Prairie View on the hill is by telling the world about what's going on the hill.
Well, it's working for Jackson State.
Okay.
It's working for Sam.
That's positive information.
That's positive stuff.
Yes,
that ain't negative.
Yes, that's not negative stuff. Do we really want everybody to know that?
Well, I
We don't
don't
talk about
know.
none of the good stuff going on. He say he don't know. I
That's
don't know.
true.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I don't like knowing all the bad stuff before I know about the good stuff. We have a lot of great stuff going on. You know,
Tons.
Tons.
Plenty.
Multi-million-dollar engineering building going up. Nobody saying nothing about that. Chris Tucker on the yard. We ain't saying nothing.
Oh, we were supposed to talk about that. Let's
I'm
change the
sorry.
subject. Don't do well. Not like
Thank you.
to Chris Tucker on the yard.
So, speaking of Chris Tucker, so Chris Tucker was on the yard this week to give a special talk, and he had a conversation with President Emeritus Simmons, and well attended. Shanetta, you watched the whole thing. What did you think?
I think it's good. I think if you get an opportunity to go it's on PV's YouTube channel, and they show the entire program in its entirety. There's something I learned about Teresa Valdez. She was a stand-up comedian. Really? Prior to perform with Wanda Sykes, and so learn something about her. But no, I think this was really good for me because I haven't seen Chris Tucker in this light. Every time I see him, he's a comedian or an actor, but he really does care, and he talks a lot about his just things that he's doing to give back. So again, some really good gems there. I like the interaction with the students, the questions that they ask. So again, do yourself a favor and check that out on YouTube.
Chanel, did they talk about the relationship between he and Dr. Simmons? Did that come up at all? Like, how they know each other?
I kind of picked and choose and kind of went through, so I need to go back. Yeah. Okay. But no, for me, I was really focusing more on what the students' questions to him.
Okay.
Because for me, I think that the reason he's there is for the students. So I kind of went toward the end to where I could start hearing.
Yep. No, it's interesting to see her. Again, I've always been impressed with her reach and her connections and stuff like that. Just was invaluable. So
yeah. And then going back to the previous conversation with the president, I hope she brings that as well, because we can talk about the things that Ruth didn't do correct, whether she liked athletics or not, but she is the only president that brought one check that was $50 million, and that was based on who she was and who she knew.
Yep.
Okay, we have silence there. Okay, we're gonna.
No. We weren't saying that was a bad comment.
Ruth bought them checks. Hashtag Ruth bought them checks.
She did.
Oh goodness. So did you guys get a chance to see the
now speaking of those checks coming?
Go ahead, Ralph. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Al.
I was going to bring up the RISE program, the partnership with Halliburton.
Love it.
Oh yeah.
So we're in our second year of that program, and speaking of bringing the checks in, Halliburton is one of the largest contractors in the country when it comes to defense and government contracts, and their headquarters is only about 30 minutes from campus. So to have that partnership is huge.
Right. I believe it's 6 students for the inaugural year. And then I think they just added on an additional 10 students, and they're getting something like $12,000 in scholarship plus the opportunity. Right. I feel right now money is always great, but I think the exposure and the opportunity right now is really what's valuable to the students.
Yeah. Absolutely. And they've committed $1 million overall to the RISE program. I think it's like 12.5, I think, as you said, Shanetta. But it's more than that. It's mentoring, it's internship, it's professional development opportunities, and they've committed to it. I think it started a couple of years ago, but it's not just Halliburton. It's a couple of other students. There's one student that actually went to Xavier, got her degree, I believe, in chemistry and then chemical engineering at Prairie View, and is part of this RISE program. So it's growing, it's getting a lot of support. So, one of the good things that, you could check up under the reign of Ruth, say what you will.
She's getting it done, man. I don't take anything away from her. I mean, I wouldn't even say that she's not a supporter of athletics. I think she enjoys athletics. And again, like you say, she has brought a plethora of very impactful programs and partnerships to the university, and also highlighted some lack of partnering opportunities.
I would say everything that
research.
Everything that Mike mentioned, I think is more valuable and more impactful than cutting a check. It's nice for an organization to give money to Prairie View, but giving students access to everything that Mike named and Shanetta named, that is most impactful in changing individual lives.
Yes, indeed.
So much appreciated.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Well, sound like that's time for
and
commercial break.
Before we move over to football, did you guys see where Princeton unveiled a portrait of President Simmons?
Yeah, it actually didn't look very half bad. I was impressed. Usually those portraits can go either way, man.
I was about to say, I hope it looked better than Obama's portrait.
We didn't say it. Like what? Why did you even make me think of that? As soon as you said it, all I saw were flowers. I'm like,
the flowers. That's what I was saying.
And I was about to say, let's give her flowers, and then I looked at the portrait. That don't go together.
Don't go together. Don't put
the only reason why people let that artist make it is because it was a black artist. If it was not a black artist, they'd let that person have it behind that portrait.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's move on to football, man.
We digress.
But listen,
let's take a quick break and we'll be right back to talk some football.
2nd and 5. First to the hole up the middle and breaks free. The 20, the 10.
Touchdown Prairie View. And it is Tristan Wallace.
All right, I guess we got to recap this debacle in Idabina. Coming out the gate for
Valley, huh?
It's like the third game in a row where the offense comes out and goes 3 and out right off the bat.
Man, look, I didn't even bother to look at the stats. Honestly,
it was depressing, but yes, I did.
Yeah, I mean, the game came down to a couple things: 3 and out after 3 and out after 3 and out.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot be a D1 college football team and only expect to win consistently when your quarterback's only allowed to throw the ball 15 times. I think that's a big problem. I think Traezon Conley has proven he can make the throws. I think we need to just really stop being so conservative and open up the offense and let that young man develop as a passer. I think the issue is maybe not having the pass catchers that you may want to have to make all the catches that need to be made. 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. The defense wore down. I don't think the defense has recovered from a few games ago. They haven't gotten their mojo back from almost a month ago, in my estimation. So you add that with all these 3 and outs, they got tired. They were worn down. You saw the energy just leave the field if you watch the game.
Man,
you can't
3 and out, 3 and out, fumble, 3 and out, 3 and out, fumble again.
And that was my last bullet point. 4 turnovers. One of them a pick 6.
Yep.
And they all put you in a short. They all gave Valley a short field.
Yep.
So
and we didn't capitalize off of those opportunities where we had short field advantage, and so it was a rough day in Mississippi. I don't know what the
man. I tell you, man. Valley held the ball so long, and I kept going from that game to other game. Every time I switch, I was like, man, they still got the ball. They got the ball again. They still got the ball. Every time I turned back, Valley had the ball.
Was I watching a scrimmage?
Because we were giving up a ton of running yards. So they ran our game. They ball controlled us to death.
Yes. Yes, they controlled the ball for dang near a whole 3/4 of a quarter longer than we did. That defense is tired. You can't ask your defense to do that.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, it
is what it is. No, it ain't. It ain't even is what it is. It's just pitiful.
And it ain't that deep. So we still, I think we talked about it earlier, but hey, we can still get to Jackson if the Bayou Classic blows up and Grambling wins that game. Then we got to make this long ass ride, expensive plane flight to Jackson.
I canceled my Johnny T's order. Whatever.
You might as well go ahead and enjoy yourself, man. It's like you get a bonus homecoming. Let's just call it that, right? That's all you can say. You just go down there and have a good time.
I think if we go, we probably may need Johnny T's
before and after.
Exactly.
So the difference is
you need a mercy rule, man.
Exactly.
To me, from last year to this year, everybody will say, well, hell, we backdoored our way into Jackson last year too, because
that was a totally different backdoor. No,
we lost to Valley. I think the difference to me is our defense had been playing a lot stronger than it has been this season. We did not have this inability or lack of desire to throw the ball. So I don't see there's any way we can go to Jackson, throwing the ball 15 times a whole game, and then expect to come out of that game with a W or even a respectable score. I just don't see it. We got to open up the offense and just let whatever happens, man.
Yeah, I think they're going to be more apprehensive to throw with the secondary at Jackson.
Yeah.
If you are Bubba, what is on your Christmas?
I'm assuming Al is saying, if you are Bubba, what is on your Christmas list?
Yes, that's what he said, I think. And that's kind of where I wanted to take this conversation. The whole focus now should be recruiting.
Recruit.
December signing. That's all I'm concerned about. And what's on Bubba's Christmas list? What's on the OC and DC's Christmas list? Big boys. We need big boys on the defensive line. We need big boys on the offensive line. And I mean talented big boys who can move with quick feet, not just dudes who just big. We need to get some of these dogs that's out there with 2.0s and above who can come in and bring a huge infusion of size and talent to our program. That's what is on Bubba's Christmas.
That means JUCO transfers, so be it. Let's go 50-50 on this.
I would live in the JUCO transfer portal right now, period. Exactly. We need immediate impact guys, because if word on the street is correct, they're going to change the SWAC championship scenario, where it may not be just a winner from the East and the West. It may be a little different next year. So you have to come out the gate. You got to dominate the SWAC. So yeah, we need to live in the JUCO portal and find as many big boys as we can, period.
Yeah. So for our social media, we need to go ahead and create a social media for recruiting that allows these young men and women to go ahead and upload their huddle, all their footage, just to help with the recruiting effort.
Yeah.
Everything helps.
And we got to respond. Of course, I took that Christmas list in a totally different direction. I was saying maybe he wanted everybody at Jackson team to catch the flu. I was thinking.
Well, Christmas is after the championship game.
I mean, hey, it's still on his Christmas list. Merry Christmas for me if they all catch the flu.
Well, if that's the case, he need to be worried about Southern getting sick before Jackson.
Hey man, spread it around wherever you want to spread it. I'm just saying that's what get on my list.
No, I think 6-5 overall and 5-3 in the conference is good. That's better than a lot of people expected. And so for me, I think I'm good there. There's no reason that game is televised.
Yes.
I don't want that.
I'm not gonna be a good. That's not good recruiting. There, that's not a good recruiting tool.
You say talking about keeping family business in house. Don't have it on TV, huh?
Exactly.
Right. So no, I lived through 0-80 in silence. I don't need it broadcasted. And again, I think we all know that Jackson likely will win that game. But what I would love to see is for it to be a competitive game.
Exactly.
Just like last year. Yeah. Last year was more than competitive. Last year we could have won that game.
You already have the makings for a really attractive game with North Carolina Central going to Atlanta. They bring a big crowd That Charlotte area, they love to travel down to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
You got Jackson that likes to travel on the road, one of the top traveling teams in the SWAC. You got to, and that's going to be somewhat competitive. You look at the way Central's come on in the last, so it's going to be competitive. There's no way PV can even step into that and be competitive. Not into that mix.
Damn, Mike.
I just think.
All right.
And Roland, we still are a fan show. We are just realistic.
I know. Hey, man, I'm digging deep. I'm digging deep. I'm trying to pull out whatever I got. Anything.
I am really trying to protect the image of.
Hey, bro, I'm the biggest fan, but you just
so here's
you got to drink that true serum.
Here's a question
that true serum.
Here's the question that people will ask. Would you rather make it to the SWAC championship and potentially suffer a bad loss, or just avoid the SWAC championship altogether? Which is the most impactful towards recruiting, and which is a negative? How do you take that?
I must say I can. My common sense agrees with Shanetta. I do feel like that our greatest recruiting efforts will be made by just saying, all right, great job, fellas. Let's go out and try to find somebody to come and help support the team and help, elevate the team. I do feel like that if we go down there and have a bad showing, it will probably hurt our recruiting efforts because social media is not forgiving. And all we need is a couple of bad plays to go viral. And no 4-3-2 star athlete is gonna want to come. I don't know how you sell that. And you know what? Hey man, maybe we have some great coaches that can go out and spin those things and spin the program and actually sell the program. We all know that when those guys come to campus, it's a done deal. So maybe you still get them in there into the rotation on a visit, right? So, but my gut says that it would not help our recruiting by going down there and have a bad showing.
But I can say this. I agree. I mean, and I wholeheartedly agree. Because I'm thinking at this point, I'm talking from an alum. And I don't want to be embarrassed. But I could also see it is going to be televised whether you win or lose. So if I'm thinking from an individual standpoint, hey, I'm on television. Maybe we lost, but I had a standout game, right? So that's where I could see, that's a pro of going. But for me, I'm looking at overall.
From my standpoint, you always use success as a recruiting tool. Yeah. And making it to the SWAC championship game is a measurement of success, and you use that recruiting. If you take a L, you use that as in a recruiting tool by saying, young man, big dog on a defensive line. If we had you, we could have won that game. So when you step foot on Prairie View's campus and we make it to the next championship game, we will have you to make that difference, to be that difference maker. So recruiting is a funny thing. It depends on the person you're speaking to. It depends on the person and how that message is delivered and received. But I think I always want to go to a championship game if I have the opportunity.
It makes sense. I do. I mean, I definitely get that point. Again, I'm just talking about
your own personal ego.
Yeah, and I totally get it. Trust me.
I done drove all this way. I'm not gonna feel like having a good time after 50-0.
Hey, trust me. Like I said, I have already mentally repurposed that money just in case we don't make the game. But I'd rather our players have that opportunity to be seen on national TV for the guys who do have pro potential of one form or fashion. And I'd rather the coaches have the opportunity to coach in a championship game because our defensive coordinator, it'll be our head coach's first time, our defensive coordinator first time, and our defensive coordinator and our offensive coordinator's first time being the head guys in a championship game. So I'd love for them to have that experience so they can be better at it the next time.
I would have loved for them to have played like they wanted to be in it.
Exactly.
Because sometimes you look at the team. I've sat through many losses, especially let's go back maybe 2004 or 5 when they were starting to, they hadn't had that winning streak yet, but you saw it. And I remember, so I can't remember the year, but they almost beat Grambling for the first time. And even though they lost, you had to root for them because they played their hearts out. You could tell they tried. And I just didn't see that yesterday. And that's why I say you don't deserve to go. And the mere fact that we're hanging our hopes on someone losing, like you get into that championship like the way Jackson did. You dominated the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and even Alcorn played them tough. That's a state rivalry. Played them tough, but I wouldn't. Even someone who follows the sport more closely, I would think as a recruiting tool, you would want the opportunity to not only be there, to be somewhat competitive. But if you are not going to, if you're going to bring that itty bitty effort and all of that, how much of a recruiting tool can that be? You can be the best orator in the world. You just went to the championship on national TV, and your team gave up the guts and gave it all up on the field.
But look at last year. But look at last year, man. Again, same scenario.
Yeah, but last year wasn't a blowout when we got.
But
last year was apples and oranges. This year was apples and oranges. We were in that game for at least some part of the game. Juwan Pass, somehow, I don't know what happened to him in the second half.
Yeah.
And our coach had his bags packed, but we were more competitive at that point. We had a quarterback that people were at least scared of.
Yeah.
Man, Juwan Pass can, he can pass. He's a passing threat and a running threat. We don't have that this year. People see that. It's evident. So this is just that 1 year. I would rather not back in, and I mean really back into the championship game and use that as a recruiting tool.
So Mike and Joe, so hypothetically speaking, right? We get down there, Bayou Classic, fluke, Grambling wins. And as the OC and the defensive coordinator, what adjustments do you make going into Jackson? Like what do you go in telling the team? What are you focusing on that week before December 3rd?
That's a good question, bro. Offensively, I'm going to continue my three-headed monster, which, by the way, I only really saw Jaden Stewart with bulk of the carries. I'm going to have 3 running backs rotating. So I'm still going to run the ball, but I'm going to open up the passing game more. I'm going to get the ball to the tight end. I'm going to wish him out in the flat and let him catch some wheel routes. I'm going to be more creative with my passing game. And I'm going to let Trey use his legs as much as he wants to, but I want him to concentrate on throwing the ball down the field also. And I'm not going to throw it to Travis Hunter's side. That ain't going to happen.
Exactly.
Okay. Not going to happen. We're going to treat him like Dion.
Have no highlight.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. Defensively, man, that's a tough call, to be honest with you. Defensively, I know I want a blitz package. I know I don't want Shadur Sanders sitting up in there all day.
Ordering a pizza
while he's deciding which receiver he wants to throw the ball. So just that 4-man rush ain't gonna get it. I'm gonna send our fastest linebacker on a blitz, or I'm gonna have my nickel blitzing half the damn game. But we're gonna have a significant blitz package all day long. And my corners got a man up and cover man to man if they need to. Or if we're gonna stay in a soft zone, then you need to attack the ball when it's in the air, and don't be sitting back there and having a big ass hole in the zone and you not breaking on the ball when the ball is delivered.
And then miss the tackle.
So
that's what I would do. What about you, Mike? What would be your philosophy on both sides?
Yeah, we actually talked about this. The teams that seem to have been successful against Jackson State have a change-up running game. Meaning they have like a thunder, lightning, and somewhere in between. They're hitting the middle gap. Then the next thing you're hitting the 5-6 gap on the side. Then they're sweeping on the outside. Then you don't know where they're hitting. And they're constantly changing it up. And they have a dual threat, mature quarterback. That's why we were talking about that teams coming out of the MEAC. There's 2 teams that have mature quarterbacks that are similar somewhat to Prairie View's offense, The only difference is their quarterbacks are better on the mid-sized pass and a little bit more mature than our quarterback, but our quarterback is a much better runner. So on the offensive side, you keep that dual threat, as Joe said, but keep them guessing. Yeah. That's your best get. Keep them guessing. On the defensive side, put all kinds of pressure. Make Shedeur think on the run constantly. Sorry, a little under the weather, but
no, you're fine. I'm just like I say, we're in a place where strange things have happened and continue to happen in the West, and so we have to keep that possibility of going to Jackson still on the table, and we cannot go in there half cocked, and we got to have a strong game plan. So OCs, DCs, and Coach Bubba, I don't know what is it for. What we doing 3 a day now? we delivering turkeys to the yard now, so y'all tell your mama and them to come see you on the yard.
Dude, you didn't ask me what I would do.
Oh, what would you do, Shanette? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm
exactly.
sorry. God dog it, man.
Come on, bro. Do better.
No, only thing I would say in the defense, I just wouldn't give them an opportunity to get the ball. I don't like corners that just. I'm here to stop you from getting more yardage. I like corners that prevent you from getting the ball. That's all.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Make the tackle.
Don't give them 20-yard cushion. Don't give up 20-yard cushion.
Break up the push. Put your hand up. Just don't allow him to get the ball.
Yes.
Play basketball. Put a wide receiver out there or something. I don't know.
Our DBs tend to give way too much cushion.
Yeah, 20-yard cushions don't work.
Yeah, and the zone is way too soft. And so you find that big old hole in the zone, it's easy to make completions. So if we got to go man to man to cut down some of that zone cushion, then do what we need to do. But yeah, I'm with Shanetta. It's our DBs, and I guarantee you, there will be some transfer portal DBs.
Yes,
that we will be looking at as well. There's no doubt
dogs.
about that.
Some dogs.
And he probably ain't gonna have a 3.0.
Yeah, with 2.500.
Yeah, 2.32.
I don't you.
All right, we digress.
And with that, let's go on. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back with the We Ready shout out.
Please do, please.
All right. So, Shanetta, who you got this week?
Well, I actually had something for band, but we just skipped it, so I'm going to do a shout out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shout out Dr. Zachary. I'm going to shout out Dr. Zachary because I think I mentioned maybe last month he's now doing these monthly I can't remember what
Facebook.
Right. It's like a I can't remember what
lecture series.
It's a catchy name, but he does a really good job. And I have to say I stand corrected on a lot of things that I've been saying because he actually breaks down when the band can play. Right. And so you owe it to yourselves to go and listen to it because it will clear up a lot of things as far as why they don't play as much. So I'm going to give a shout out to him for just trying to clear that air and make the fans understand why at times it does seem like they are sitting silent. But the key to that, when your team is winning, your band is playing.
Look, Dr. Zach said he wasn't just ready, but he had time today for you.
That's what, Dr. Zach had time today.
Hey, man, speaking in terms of the band, want to shout out the PVAMU Foundation. They just had their annual golf tournament. And this year they were actually in support of the Marching Storms. So it seems to be, it was a decent success. So shout out to them for actually putting that together and continuing their support of the university and everything that they're doing. Seems like they were ready.
It seemed like it was cold out there.
Well, that's the other thing. We don't do well in cold weather. So that's why I say so. It still seemed like it was a success.
Hey, I want to shout out to Will Douglas. He had for our upset victory against Washington State University in the Baby Dome last week. He had 26 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. So the grad transfer from SMU came in and put down on that game what we expected, anticipated when he transferred in. And then not only he did not just chill with that game and put it out everything that he had. He followed up the next game, which was actually today, Sunday, against University of Tennessee Martin, 22 points. Even though we lost that game on a last-second buzzer beater shot, he still came back with 22 points. So he started this season on fire. The Panthers basketball season, the team as a whole, and Will Douglas, they appear to be ready.
They ready. They ready.
All right. So let me give shout out. The SWAC volleyball group announced its postseason honors. And if you are not on FAMU's team, you probably didn't make those honors. So
what are we talking about here?
Player of the Year, Dominique Washington, no relation, of course. Block of the Year, FAMU. Libero of the Year, Setter of the Year, FAMU. Until we get down to Freshman of the Year, Kylie Owens from yours truly, Prairie View A&M, who's been killing it all season. This was her debut season. She finished the season ranked first amongst all those FAMU players in aces and third in the league in kills, my favorite stat, second in the league in kills per set, and fourth in points. She had a total of 400 points. Wow. So she is ready in a league that has been dominated hands down by FAMU and their Shador Sanders of the volleyball league, Dominique Washington. Kylie Owens is really setting her mark, so she is ready.
She ready.
Oh, we ready to keep her.
Not with this damn internet pause.
Take us on out of here.
PV.
You know. No. Now that's just all the way wrong. You do not do.
That's the
internet.
Just
don't come
that's
here with
your
internet. Own line, son. But I can't.
Damn, what neighborhood you live in? What kind of
Bruh, I just ran a speed test. I think it's my computer. It's my computer. It's not my internet. I just ran a speed test.